Shalom, all praise to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, where I learned this truth from. Much respect to the brothers out there preaching and teaching the truth worldwide across the four corners of the earth, risking their lives and freedom for this truth. Peace and salutation to the Akim and Akwaf that are listening. I'm going to do a lesson on tonight about studying the Bible and what is so important about how you study and why you study. Because there are many times, especially coming out of Christianity, that we were taught about the Bible is that, you read the book, and and you write down this and you write down that, but there's a way and there's an explanation of how we're supposed to study the Bible itself, and we learn this through Scripture. And sometimes we take for granted, the things we do get from the Bible because we learn in different capacities. But when it's explained, then it's already understood about how we should do things. And I'm going to start it off in Isaiah 28, 9 through 10. And this was a question that was asked. It reads, it says, whom shall he teach knowledge? And that was basically, the priest asking of how Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai is going to teach the knowledge, and whom shall he make to understand doctrine? Them that are weaned from the milk and drawn from the breast, and they was basically asking, how Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai is going to teach them, because it's like basically they were, seem as though they were like, little children. So they were asking the question, why is he doing this? And then verse 10 is it reads, it said, for precept must be upon precept, precept upon precept, line upon line, line upon line, here a little and there a little. And it's like they were upset because it seemed like it was repetition. But we learn, from this truth and from the brothers that are teaching it, that's how we back up what we say. We go precept upon precept, we go line upon line, and we go here a little and there a little, because that's what's going to make sure that we have a valid point, that we cannot be disputed as far as what we say, because we're backing it up precept upon precept, line upon line, here a little and there a little. So in Christianity, it's just scripture and another scripture and another scripture, which is not really saying much because you're not going, to back that up, what you just said. You're just saying it, and then the congregation is just believing the words that are coming out of your mouth. Well, yes, a pastor is supposed to be led by Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, but we know, now as we are in the truth, that they are being told what to teach, and they're only teaching just enough to get them by as to say that they're pastors. But there's no meat to the scripture. There's nothing that you're gaining from what they say. But that's for another lesson. But what I'm trying to bring forth is that everything that we speak of, whether it be a scripture, we back it up with scripture. And it's not like we do the Bible as if it's just a regular book. We go line upon line and here a little and there a little. And therefore, everything is able to be broken down and able to be understood without any confusion. And from there, I'm going to go to Psalms 119 and 11. And it reads, it says, "Thy word have I hid in mine heart, that I might not sin against thee." So we have to, be in this word in order to not sin against Yahweh Shem Yahushai. If we're reading this word, if we're meditating on this word, if we're, doing what the word says, then it'd be almost unlikely that we're sinning as we're doing so. So the more time we're spending, in the word, we're supping with Yahweh Shem Yahushai, and therefore we're not sinning during that time. Now we know we're in this flesh, so we're not going to be perfect. We're going to sin, but the thing about it is, we're being men of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, we want to sin as less as possible. So the more time we're spending in this word, the more time we're spending meditating on this word, the more time we're praying and fasting and doing the things that we should be doing as men of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, as servants, then we will sin less. So therefore, we won't sin while we're doing those things. Next, from there, as I spoke on, meditating, on the word, and, doing the things that we're supposed to do, it, as you go down further in Psalms 119, 15 and 16, it reads, it says, "I will meditate in thy precepts and have respect unto thy ways. I will delight myself in thy statutes. I will not forget thy word." So as as we study the commandments, we're going to reflect, on it, and respect it, and we're going to delight in the statutes and the decrees that we go forth in, and therefore we won't forget the word that we've studied, that we've that we reflected on. It'll delight us. You know what I'm saying? Because we put forth the effort and the time in to learn and perfect our craft. We're meditating on it, so that means we're thinking about it. We're focused on it out of respect, because we know the doctrine that we have and the word that we have to respect it. It's not something that we should take for granted. And we delight in the statutes, because that means, that we're actually, getting this word, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. And that way we won't forget it. It's a blessing, to have this word. It's a blessing to have this doctrine. And it's a blessing for us to be, taught, learn, and continue to, move this word by the apostles, the elders, and the other brothers, that place forth videos. It's a blessing to have that, because, it grows you up. You go from, like in what they was discouraged about and what they were complaining about as far as the milk scriptures, you're going from the milk scriptures, which is the basics, unto the meat scriptures. And that's what we need to be doing as we continue to grow in this truth. We go from the milk as babes, until, the meat, which is, when you're fully established and grow, you go forth to the meat scriptures. So that's what we're doing. That's what we're blessed to do through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. So that's what we basically push for each and every day, to get into the meat, to be able to break down the more established scriptures, and not just staying to the basics. We learn the basics so that we would have that foundation and have a strong foundation. But as we get that foundation, we build upon it by learning more and more scriptures. Psalms 119 and 18, it reads, it says, "Open thou mine eyes, that I may behold wondrous things out of thine law." So we're opening our eyes to see wondrous truths in the instruction, that we're reading, the laws. So instead of being asleep in this world, doing the carnal things and being in the churches and doing things of a Christian, so-called Christian, we'll say it that way, nature, our eyes are being open that we can get more of a understanding and development in this word. We're not just relying on someone to give us what the word says. We're able to do it ourselves, and which makes being in this doctrine and in this walk so much better than so-called Christianity. Because and not that I'm trying to basically knock on Christianity with this lesson. What I'm trying to do is give an understanding of how we study. We study for ourselves. We work out our own salvation with fear and trembling. We're not waiting on someone to give us something or be spoon-fed the word. We dive into it and meditate on it and work on it ourselves. And therefore, we have an understanding of our own. So as we go into it, as we read the scriptures, as we study, then our eyes are going to be open. Because we know this world is dark. We know this world is full of iniquity, full of wickedness, full of a multitude of trials and tribulations, full of evil, full of demonic forces, full of things that cause us to be vexed each and every day. So we have to find solace in something here in our land of captivity. So we find it in his word. And Psalms 119 and 105 explains to how we are able to move in this land of our captivity, in this darkness, even though, we're not of a carnal nature. We're not how we used to be. Our old man is dead and our new man has come alive. And we walk now in a different way, in a different path, that narrow path of righteousness. And we do it by, once again, Psalms 119 and 105, and it reads, it says, "Thy word is a lamp unto my feet and a light unto my path." So the word is our guide. It guides our way, it guides our feet, and it's a light, once again, to our path. So therefore we're able to walk, without going in the wrong direction, going astray. We need to be guided. We need to have that lamp, and that light, in order for us to maneuver in this darkness that is this world, that is Babylon the Great. We have to be able to still find our way. So by having this word, we are guided, in the right direction, and we have a light, which becomes us as being that light, to be able to move and maneuver and do it in a righteous way. Because, I spoke on, this being our land of captivity, but we are free spiritually. And how are we free spiritually? You might ask, and it's because of John 8 and 32. It says, "And ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free." And what it's speaking of is, how we should know this truth. This truth is the word, and it'll make us free spiritually. We won't be thinking of in a carnal way. We won't be thinking in a carnal nature. We won't be, going off, because we'll have, the truth. and it'll make us free to continue to do the righteous acts that we're supposed to be doing. And you know, as we learn the truth, as we continue to study, then it'll put us in a better position to have a better relationship with Yahweh Shem Yahushua. We'll draw nigh to him as he draws nigh to us, because we're learning this word, we're meditating on it, we're studying, you know, we're getting, you know, the basics unto the meat by doing precept upon precept, line upon line, here a little and there a little. And that's going to bring us to 2 Timothy 2:15. And it reads, it says, study to show thyself approved unto Yahweh Shem Yahushua, a workman that needeth not to be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth. So if we're studying, you know, we're gonna show ourselves approved by putting forth, you know, the work in this word, you know, studying, meditating on it, you know, basically memorizing the scriptures so we can go, you know, to the actual scripture that we need in order to teach and preach and do the work itself. And by doing that, you know, we're going to receive our approval from Yahweh Shem Yahushua, you know, and if we're doing the work in the right way, in the way that it's explained for us to do, then we don't need to be ashamed by doing that. We shouldn't be ashamed by doing that, because as doing this work and doing it in truth and sincerity, why would we be ashamed? And then we'll be able to break down the scripture, you know what I'm saying? Rightly dividing the word of truth. We'll be able to break it down. We'll be able to explain it. We'll be able to teach in a manner that we should. It wouldn't be, you know, to where we're confused and confusing. We'll be able to break down the word itself to where it will be understood by those that don't have the basics, that are new to the truth itself, or maybe just, you know, looking and finding our videos, and therefore as they look on it, then it's explained already. It's not where they have to, you know, do anything but go to the scriptures and it be backed up what we're saying, because we're breaking it down to the point to where they already understand it. Because we have to make sure that we're making it plain, that we're studying to the point to where it is plain to those that are reading it, those that are viewing our videos, or, you know, or if we're making lessons and we're studying with the brothers, we have to be able to, you know, have it to where it's known that we have the knowledge of the scripture. It's not just that we're saying, okay, yeah, I understand that, but we can show that we understand it by breaking it down and understanding what the point is being made, because some things are literal and some things are said in parable, you know what I'm saying? So we have to make sure that we understand the difference, and therefore those that are listening to us, those that are learning from us, have that same knowledge. And most of all, you know what I'm saying, and which is the most important, is that, you know, what we learn, what we study, we have to also do. We have to be doers of that. You know what I'm saying? We can't be out here being hypocrites. We can't say, don't eat pork, and then we're eating pork on the slick. Because whatever we preach on, it should be something that we do ourselves, and not take it for granted that we have this knowledge, not take it for granted that we're able to teach it, not take for granted that we're being, you know, blessed with the spirit and power to do so. We should be doers as well as, you know what I'm saying, learning and hearing. And that's in James 1:22. It says, but be ye doers of the word and not hearers only, deceiving your own selves. So we can't just listen to what the word says. we have to do what it says. And that means don't just talk the talk, but walk the walk, you know, and more or less, you know, regular talk. But scripture is saying that we can't just, you know, hear the word and not do what it says, because otherwise we just fooling ourselves. You know what I'm saying? We only deceiving ourselves. We're not deceiving nobody else. We're deceiving ourselves, because that's only making us look, you know, bad by doing that. So to sum it up, you know, we have to make sure that we're studying the scripture correctly by precept upon precept, line upon line, here a little and there a little, that we, you know, studying, you know, to where we can meditate on and hide it in our hearts, and it'll be part of us so that we will not, you know, sin as much, because like I said, we're in this flesh. We're gonna, you know, we're gonna do things, you know what I'm saying, contrary to the word sometimes. And then understand that, you know, with these scriptures, you know what I'm saying, our eyes are open. You know what I'm saying? We're free, you know, to learn. We're free spiritually, you know what I'm saying? Not necessarily physically, you know what I'm saying, but the chains are not up on us, but we're not even, you know, in chains spiritually, because this word is freeing us. And then the word is going to guide us. And as we're guided, we know that this truth is going to set us free. You know, like I said, we're going to be spiritually free. And we're not going to be worried about what Esau's doing. We're going to know what Esau's doing, because we have this word. We have this doctrine. We have this truth. And then, you know, by doing those things and studying, we're showing ourselves, you know, approved. We're showing that we're doing the work in order to be approved by Yahweh Shem Yahushua Salakia. And we don't need to be ashamed, you know, if we're doing the work correctly. If we're doing the work, you know, we won't be ashamed. We'll know that we're doing the righteous acts, you know, by doing what the word says. And we'll be able to break this, you know, this word down. And lastly, you know what I'm saying, in summation, we'll be able to know that we just can't be hearers of it. We have to be doers also. And doers, you know, put forth lessons. Doers, you know what I'm saying, put forth videos. Doers are on the highways and hedges. Doers are able to explain and talk to those that might need the answers. They might ask you questions. Doers are able to do those things. And that is my lesson on tonight. I pray that those that are listening were edified. I pray that you know, everything that was probably wanted from this lesson, that you got it, and it was through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, you know, and all praise to Yahweh Shem Yahushai by Shem Kakadash, you know, for allowing, you know what I'm saying, me to do this lesson. And once again, you know, I pray that you all were edified. On to the next one. Shalom.